Brethren and companions, back in November 2019, the Cornwallis East Kent Freemasons Charity held its annual Charity Awards presentation in the conference centre within the grounds of Canterbury Cathedral. One of the recipients was a lady called Fiona King, and she received a grant from the Middleton Manor Lodge that was match funded by the Cornwallis East Kent Freemasons Charity, together with a further grant from the Masonic Charitable Foundation. These grants were to help Fiona make adaptations to her home and to buy life-saving equipment for her 2-year-old daughter, Daisy.
We'll come back to the video shortly. The next award is for Daisy's chair, and this is a donation from the Curtis Ratcliffe Reserve that I mentioned previously. The granddaughter of the master of Middleton Manor Lodge is considerably disabled. Specialist work was required at her mother's house, and the council provided some funds but not sufficient for the work. So the grant will be used to purchase a special chair for Daisy Allen, which will enable her for the first time to sit up at the table during meal times and to sit up during shopping trips and other occasions. And it will make her clearly feel much more included in family occasions. And I was told this morning, we heard yesterday, that the Masonic Charitable Foundation have awarded a further substantial sum of money for building works in the house to facilitate the wheelchair access, etc. So the charity is represented by Fiona King and indeed Daisy Allen, if they're here. So step forward. Together with Barry Miles from Middleton Manor Lodge.
So this is Daisy. You probably heard her since we were in the building. So Daisy's not had the easiest start to life, but as you can see, she's extremely happy and vocal. I just really want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been involved in supporting us, and yeah, just helping Daisy in a way. It is genuinely going to change our lives. So thank you very much.
Daisy has many lifelong medical conditions, and Fiona now takes up her story.
Hi Richard. So myself, Daisy and extended family came along to the cathedral, and as you rightly said, we was awarded funding for some equipment for Daisy. That funding went towards some life-saving equipment for Daisy to clear her airways, and also some equipment to help her gross motor skills, such as walking. Yeah, so my stepdad, Barry, has been a Mason for as long as I can recall. I didn't really know too much about what he'd done. And yeah, I think when Daisy came along, that's when I actually realised, how we could get help. And the story started a little bit before then with a couple of friends, 2 or 3 female friends that ended up getting into a taxi with a lovely man called Ray, and that's how we ended up here today. It was kind of the word was spread about how Daisy can get help and support as a family, and that's where we are now, thanks to Barry, Ray, and every other person that I've met along the way. The money that we've received from the Masonic Charitable Foundation has given Daisy and myself and her family access inside and outside of the house. It's something that you take for granted until you're in this position of how hard it actually is to get in and out of the house. It's something so small that you take for granted. So this has allowed us to safely be able to leave the house with Daisy and all of her equipment. And when I say all of her equipment, until you see how much stuff she actually has to get out of the house, you don't fully appreciate it. So it's allowed us to do that. It's allowed my nurses to confidently be able to take Daisy out of the house, because they weren't allowed to walk up and down the steps with her. Where we live, we're on a big hill basically, and I think in total we've got 18 steps. So 18 steps with Daisy, a ventilator, life support equipment is something that only I could do. So it was left to me to be running up and down the steps, either leaving Daisy in the house on her own, which is dangerous, or in the car. So this has been life-changing for us. I can't say any more than that, really. It has been life-changing.
Brethren, the grants that Fiona received were only made possible by the kind generosity of the members of Middleton Manor, together with others, the work of the Cornwallis East Kent Freemasons charity, and of course the Masonic Charitable Foundation. It is, however, important to remember that there are 40 provinces up and down the country, and that all the provinces hold festivals, and all the money raised goes directly to the Masonic Charitable Foundation that will help and support many people such as Fiona and her lovely daughter Daisy. As you are aware, in East Kent we are now in our own festival period. Every penny helps, and together we can make a difference.